everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The Raiders would love nothing more than to finish out today's game with a second notch in that win column. It's the Beats going up against the Raiders. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, apart from a 13-year gap in L.A., we are at the home of the Raiders since 1966. But how much longer will they be playing football in Oakland, California? Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Brooklyn Beats and the Oakland Raiders. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First down, Carr. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that, but a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves that you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
A good pickup there, a 22. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
A right side catch by Crabtree. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And here now, the defensive starters.
Eric Reed is a safety that you can use all over on defense, both in the boxes.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before.
The key guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level, that's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team.
Oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Trying to finish off this opening drive from the 3. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. He's got time. And that is incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that brings up 4th down. Now on 4th down, Jack Del Rio's going to send on the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, and he will find his man on the outside. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to
completion. First carry for Amir Abdullah. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his man on the out route. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And that is incomplete. Amir Abdullah, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd down following the run.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, They gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Throwing his car on third down. And hauled in here by Rivera. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now back out comes the offense. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Fresh set of downs here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Flushed out right, and avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. He's brought with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Brooklyn football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Gets it to Gordon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. They'll get 17 yards there, and that'll be good enough for the first. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This is screen to Abdullah. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Mario Edwards in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10? And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Mario Edwards in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offense.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Point after here coming up. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Aldon Smith in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it's 4th down. Here's Brad Nordman now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
A right side catch by Crabtree. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Shift together here from the D-line. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Well, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Washington, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. this offense ready to head back out there. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. He'll look to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And some room to maneuver. And a gain there of 11 yards.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We'll come back to Oakland after this.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. A gain of 6 there on first.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. This is Abdullah. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Again, it's Abdullah. And he is going to lose yardage here. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on third and goal. They'll look to throw here. Complete. Richardson has it. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And his kick here is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. This is screen to Abdullah. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go play action here on first down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way in for the touchdown. Trey Burton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Finding time. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 15 yards here on the catch and run.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. A right side catch by Crabtree. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Pardon me, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
8 yards to go here on second down. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So this is the second consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
It's caught right side, it turns. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back to throw. Hearns brings it in. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They come out here in the eye. 1st down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Trying to pound it in with Dixon. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Kenneth Dixon on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Now Carr throwing on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got time in the pocket. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out in the pistol. And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the Raiders have got him. Mario Edwards in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Encroachment defense. Still third down.
We've got a 3rd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. Gets it to Gordon. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And when he started rolling left there as a right-handed quarterback, I thought, boy, this third down play is going nowhere, but credit to him, able to pick up the first.
And all you righties who are watching the game at home, get out of your chair, get off the couch, move to your left, and then rifle one. You may leave a hole in the wall that you have to explain later, but you'll see how difficult that throw actually was.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. There they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Let's go! Over! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a fourth down play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back now in the East Bay as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Let's go. Landon. Watch him now, Barney. Leopard. No. Jay, Patriot.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And here we go on first and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They come out here in the eye. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and for a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Surveying the field. Look at the time. Now he's going to let it go deep, right sideline. And that's caught inside the 30. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Here's the option going right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front. Oh, such great concentration. They're going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And the numbers, they sort of do the talking. Great game last week. Sharp again here in this one.
Sometimes you set habits with how you play, don't you? I mean, you start to put things together, you string them together, and the confidence continues to rise. And guess what? We're seeing that happen in front of us. Back-to-back weeks of really good play.
And the confidence certainly must be continuing to grow.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game. It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Here we go. Blue 90.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 19 yards that time for number 19. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the 4th quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
Here comes the defense heading back out here on the road. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that, and the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway, that's for sure.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Complete to tight end Rivera. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now here's whistles and another. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series. 3rd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
We know! We know!
What happened?
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Marquette King now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Now this offense ready to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A good 1st down call as the screen play gets them 9. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
It's killing me. Oh my God, bro.
defense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They come out here in the eye. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
He's back to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in hours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. And he comes back with one complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, that a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Back to throw. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
This could very well be 4-down territory, but right now we focus on 3rd and goal from the 1. It's a quarterback sneak. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. They'll try it, and he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
I think what we just saw in that drive, partner, is great practice, preparation, and poise. Not only did they score with little time left for them to retaliate, they chewed up enough time along the way while still getting the yardage they needed. That was an impressive drive.
Very methodical, and now barring something crazy on the kickoff, they've got this one. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Well, I don't think it takes much to crawl into their mind, right, why they went for 2 there, even though they were unsuccessful. With this type of a lead, what they're worried about, right, and what, less than 10 seconds on the clock, what they're worried about is just giving up the touchdown.
Yeah, on the kickoff return.
Yeah, so you go for it here to try and ensure yourself. Now they've got to make sure they cover it, otherwise they could actually lose.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary.
We ready? 5 and 8.
No pass interference, please.
One final try now for Carr. He's got time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they did